Hi, this is Philip from Levels, and today I want to show you how to set up our new ready-made plugin for Figma that will allow you to copy and paste your Figma layouts right into Oxygen. Let's start with the installation of the plugin. All the links will be in the description of this video. Download plugins. Here we have combined the two plugins you will need for this workflow. The first one, of course, is the Figma plugin. Let's unpack it. My download folder. The Wordpress plugin, as usually, can be installed right from the zip folder. The Figma plugin, you will need to unzip again so that you have a plain folder on your machine. You can put this folder wherever you want. I think there's a default folder for Figma plugins. You can put it there so that you don't delete it accidentally later. For the next step, we will hop into Figma. Go to the Figma icon on the plugins. If you have the permissions to edit the document, you can go to Plugins, Development. If you don't have writing permissions, then my usual trick is to download a local copy, and then I'm able to edit and to use the plugin. Say you have a design from an agency or a designer that hasn't granted you writing privileges. So, but now we can write, so we go to the Figma icon, Plugins, Development, and then we can import from manifest. Go to the folder where we have put our plugin, select the manifest.json, and yeah, now we have it in our plugin widget here. Can open it and use it. So if you started the first time, you will need to log in. We will send you the credentials. That's it for the Figma part. Then we will head over to WordPress. Here we need to install the pasting plugin, which handles the Oxygen part of this. Install, you don't need to do anything else, just install, and you will have the paste button in your Oxygenbuilder UI. Let's take some example so you can see the whole thing in action. Take this frame, head over to Oxygen, and here in the top bar we have our paste button. And yeah, that's it. You can see all the layers and diffs that have been created. It mirrors basically the layout you have in Figma, which brings me to my next point. If you have really chaotic Figma files and layers all over the place, it's basically a garbage in, garbage out situation. But on the one hand, there are plenty of Figma cleanup tools out there, and right now we're working on our own version of this. So in the near future, we will be able to provide you with help in this regard as well, to automate this workflow even further. For now, it is considered best practice anyway, to organize your layers in a meaningful way. Little example over here. We will also provide you with documentation on this in our user guide. But yeah, the basic is just that the layers and the elements should be grouped and aligned in a way that would also work on a website. And yeah, if you start from something like this, the structure and the layout of the whole thing will work best. What's also worth mentioning, I think, is that we try not to use absolute pixel values, so that it is out of the box pretty much responsive. So if these squares here have fixed pixel values in Figma, we don't carry them over. We just make stuff like that 100% of the parent, or try to use flex layout wherever possible. What also helps with functionality and with the overall structure of this is if you use a CSS framework, because in the background we check if there are any matching utility classes. For example, on this layer, we found out that it is most likely a 3-grid layout, and yeah, white background, stuff like that. Matching algorithm came to the conclusion that these utility classes would match the styles. We apply the utility classes, we throw out the styles in the background, so the element isn't cluttered with ID styles more than necessary. For now, we throw in all the styles we can find in Figma and think they are meaningful on the ID, so you can basically do whatever you want with them later on. One workflow I can imagine, or which I have tried with Oxygen, is that you just copy paste over the whole thing. As I said, for now, if you don't have a perfectly matching CSS framework in the background that matches the styles you used in Figma, then you will end up with quite a few styles on the IDs, but you can always come up with your class names for the elements you carried over. Let me show you what I mean real quick. Level column. I like to prefix my classes so I can distinguish them later on from the utility classes from the framework. Column test, let's say. And now Oxygen, as you surely know, has the option to copy and paste the styles from the ID. Yeah, I copied it over. Now I can clear the styles from the ID. The tedious thing, of course, is that I would have to do this for all the children as well, as far as I want to make this whole thing maintainable in the long run. But I think you get the idea. Also, if you work with automatic CSS, for example, you have the option, let's call this icon column, to auto-bam all of these elements. Would even be even better to start up here. Number call and auto-bam all of these. This would give me classes for all the elements, and then I can just copy over the styles. I don't have to think too much here and end up with pretty maintainable piece of layout. Of course, the naming gets copied from Figma, so if you have clean and readable and meaningful layer names, this will also directly translate over to Oxygen. Yeah, and if I organize these in this way, I would do this, of course, only for one of them if I have 3 columns, and then I can duplicate. Yeah. But as you can see, we can get pretty far with a few simple steps, and I don't need to copy over all the text. I don't need to figure out every font size value and so on and so forth. Also, a neat little feature wanted to show you is SVG icons. As soon as a layer or a group of layers only holds vector icons, I combine them all to one SVG and just put them into a code block. Of course, for long-time maintainability, you could also replace them by a native Oxygen icon later on, but for a first version, or maybe if you have lots of different icons that don't repeat too often, I think it's perfectly fine to use these for production as well. A few examples where it works well with structured Figma designs, but also what can and will go wrong if the Figma is structured poorly or not at all. Just so you can see the difference and what you have to expect when testing yourself. As you can see, the styles are copied, of course, but yeah, the overall layout mirrors the poor structure of the Figma layouts in this case. On this user guide page, you will find everything in written form that I just said. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to post in the Discord channel, or if you finish testing and have made up your mind what worked for you, what didn't work so well, click the button here for the feedback form. And if you give us meaningful feedback with this form, basically if you submit the form with your feedback, you will be rewarded with a 3-month subscription to the final product as soon as we will publish it. We would love to hear from you, of course, and tell us your wishes. Maybe we can incorporate them into the final product. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.